I can't believe what I'm witnessing as once again we see the Phoenix Suns get into another altercation and into some more drama following their loss last night versus the Houston Rockets. As Mason Plumlee and Steven Adams got in a little bit of a confrontation, and it ultimately led to the Suns being out without one of their centers. But with that, we did see some nice blossoming with this team, and ultimately letting us kind of know what direction maybe Matt Ishbia and James Jones might be wanting to do with some of these players. We'll be diving in and getting into all of that and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. But before we dive in and get into all of this important Suns news, I do want to let you guys know about a little bit of a deal that we're having. So let's check this out. We are kicking off a March Madness Bracket Challenge here on this channel, and we've decided to partner with the app Hot Takes to run this event amongst other digest channels. And it's completely free to sign up. All you need to do is download the app, click the top left banner March Madness, and go to the bottom right to find groups. Scroll down and find the Digest Media Pool and click that to join. You can win up to $25,000 in total prizes, and there's a real chance to win as there's a smaller pool involved in this challenge. All you need to do is go down to the pinned comment down below and click that link or scan this QR code and enter the code DIGEST in all caps to receive your exclusive perks. Remember, it is free to sign up, and if you have any questions revolving around this promotion, follow the pinned comment to revert back to the email. We hope to catch you guys on this group pool, and make sure to enter before March 16th before the tournament starts. Once again, a huge shout out to Hot Takes for being a nice little partner with us. And if you guys want to get into that action, make sure to check the description down below. But without further ado, let's dive in and let's get into this Suns news. And before we dive in and talk about, this disappointing loss and some frustrations, we got to pay our respects as unfortunately some sad news happened within the Suns organization as a former Suns player had passed away just yesterday. As we saw Oliver Miller, a former NBA big man in Arkansas SAR, died at the age of 54. And Miller played 9 years in the NBA, breaking in with the Suns as a rookie in 1992. The Suns drafted him with the 22nd pick, one of the three Arkansas Razorbacks chosen in the first round. And as a rookie, Miller, who was listed at 6'9", had some weight problems that would plague him throughout his career. He also became a valuable reserve for Phoenix in their run to the NBA Finals, where they ultimately lost to Jordan and the Bulls, one of the two finals appearances that this team has had in the last 30 years. But he's remembered fondly for the impact he made in the early playoff run, despite earning the Western Conference top seed. The Suns dropped their first two games of their best five series at the Lakers at home, where they won their next two games in Los Angeles, deciding a game five. Miller was the difference, as he went absolutely off, but had 9 points and blocked a shot in overtime for the Suns to eliminate those Lakers, where he finished with 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 block shots, one of the better games of his career, in which he told reporters that the O in Big O stood for overachiever, as he also imagined a lot of other teams regretting passing on him in the draft. They're all sweating, looking at me play, Miller said, especially guys who talked bad about me, talking about how I have no heart, I'm a loser, and I have no pride in myself, but I went out and proved it today. Look at me now. The next season, Miller started for the Suns in 30 games for Phoenix and averaged 9.2 points and 6.9 rebounds, and that summer he signed with the Pistons after Phoenix declined to match the Pistons' offer. It left Miller with a sour taste, and he voiced his displeasure publicly. He played well but continued to battle his weight and other issues. And then we saw after stints with multiple teams, he came back to Phoenix in 1999, in which he told reporters he regretted his comments about leaving the organization, blaming immaturity, and was excited for another chance with the team that had drafted him. There are many stories when you hear people have to hit rock bottom before they can truly change their ways, said Suns president Jerry Colangalo told reporters, with better players place to give a guy a chance to redeem himself after where he started. After his one season, he became a bit of a basketball vagabond, having stints in Greece, Poland, and over in Europe. The CBA and USBO, even at the Harlem Globetrotters. He returned to the NBA in 2003 and played with the Timberwolves with getting one start. So unfortunately, that is some somber news, but from the Suns, first round pick back in the day, and one that got to the finals as a reserve, had a big game for them. And obviously I wasn't alive at the time when this was happening, so it's not like I watched Oliver Miller play in the NBA, but I do want to pay his respects to his family and to all Suns fans that have any fond memories of Oliver playing for this Suns team, and let me know them down below in the comment section. But let's get into the other news today, as well as we have more to talk about with this Suns team, as once again, unfortunately, the Suns do this, and we all know what that is. Lose. Yes, once again, the Phoenix Suns, ladies and gentlemen, have lost another key game, and this time came to the hands of the Houston Rockets as they have gotten the best of us, and with the team having our picks, this is the thing that they want to be absolutely doing to this Phoenix Suns team. But like I mentioned, we look back we look back at this with the Suns. Oh, sorry. We can see they lost to this Phoenix Suns team, and apparently there was an altercation, and we saw the altercation with Mason Plumlee and Steven Adams getting into it, and the officials had some stuff to say, saying there were no punches thrown, but both players were ejected. Brothers had some stuff to say. Their aggressive actions were considered a fight and flight rule. Fighting technical fouls carry a penalty of automatic ejections, and like I said, the Rockets ultimately beat the Suns 111 to 104. And after the game, Plumlee spoke on what happened, saying that they just got tied up and had to be going for the boards and talking and doing what he does. So he just met him with him physically, Plumlee said. He goes for every rebound and he does it whether it's dirty or not. It just felt like they were being more physical than us. It just made a point. I just made a point to hit him on the glass. And we all know that Plumlee did start in last night's game as Nick Richards was out. So they were already down a center. And he says, I wish that wasn't the case, but once they throw you out, there's not much you can do. I'd like for them to keep the players in the game. Budenholzer also commented it saying it's just two guys getting tangled up, both physical, both competitive. He doesn't have a lot to say. It'd be nice if they probably just gave them both a technical and they both stayed in the game. I think it's a 3-point game when Mason gets thrown out. We're down Nick, and the Rockets are playing some super big lineups right now. That wasn't a big moment in the game. And like we saw, unfortunately, the Suns didn't have the greatest performance. But even though they didn't have the greatest performance, there was, some bright side in all of this as Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro got to play as obviously Mason Plumlee and Nick Richards were out. So the Suns only had Bull as their lone big man. So Oso got some run in. Oso played very solid for the Suns team, and once again, kind of showed and invigorated why he deserves to be in, why he can be kind of in this rotation, and why he deserves some minutes in this rotation. And we've seen alongside Ryan Dunn, and we've seen that with this Suns team multiple times through the year with certain players. We saw Bull get shelved for almost 2/3 of the season. We saw Ryan Dunn get playing time, then get shelved. Now seeing get more playing time. We saw Oso get some playing time, then get shelved. Now looking good when he comes back. And this just seems to be a common trend with this Suns team is that they have enough talent in depth in the roster to where if you want to sporadically play guys and kind of figure in minutes if guys aren't working or guys aren't fitting in to really give you a chance to win, it can work. But ultimately, Mike Budenholzer is kind of stuck in his rigid ways of trying to build a rotation and kind of keeping a cohesive unit, which is smart as a head coach. I'm not going to fault him on that. He wants to make sure that these guys are getting the same ramp time so that they can get comfortable in this lineup so they can play to their best, and that's would make the Suns into the playoffs. Is that's still the ultimate goal for this team, is to still keep on climbing and trying to fight into that play. And with teams like the Kings and the Mavericks kind of struggling at that 9-10 seed, it's potential for the Suns here to kind of sneak in there. And then if you make the play in at that point, you have an unlimited chance to make the playoffs, just winning 2 games. You have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, two of the best league scorers, and we know that these guys deserve to be in the playoffs. We all kind of mentioned that how they should build this team better around these guys because this team could be, a championship-esque level squad if they had the right guys around Booker and Kevin Durant. But unfortunately, that's not the case for the Phoenix Suns. And with losing some more of these games, specifically versus this Rockets team right here, it's not looking great for the team. Like I said, they'll get some bounce back wins, here and there where they'll sporadically throw in a W, and you get hyped and you think that the Suns are going to change some things and they might be actually able to go on a little bit of a win streak, and then you ultimately see once again another deflating loss, and the realization kind of hits back with this team this season. And unfortunately, due to the roster construction and due to the rotations, it just hasn't been the greatest. But there were some bright spots in last night's game as well. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys ultimately think down below in the comment section. Once again, Mason Plumlee kind of getting into this altercation isn't great in general. I don't really know if I want to like buy his apology with Mike Budenholzer, because we all know that Mike Budenholzer really appreciates Mason Plumlee and gives him the minutes regardless. So for Mason Plumlee to get those minutes, I think it's deserving. But you got to know as a center, like, if you have no one else, you need to if you want to win these games, if you need to win Nick Richards now, you got to have a little bit of a level headspace. So I don't know about that. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let me know how you guys feel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns.